So we've got the compost bay in place now. John, can you just lift one of those planks out so everyone can see what happens? So these all lift out. So when it's full, you can take these out and it gives you access. And if you're in a rain area and you're getting too much rain, you can use the tops of the wood to put some planks or cast iron or tin roofing on there to keep the rain out. So we filled one bay. Poor John, he works so hard. And the secret, half of this is well rotted down anyway, but we're also putting on layers of ash. So there's a layer of half rotted stuff and then a layer of ash because we had to burn the brambles and things. So we're getting there.
Hi guys, this is our Sunday morning. We've moved about 2 tonne of dirt and filled up our compost bins half full. Got some room for grass in the other one, and we're just tidying up this area. It's just been a neglected area and it'll get sorted out.
So for the time being, we're done here. John's done a marvellous job. If you're wondering, that is actually really ancient landscaping fabric. Honestly, the things that people put down, this may come up at some point, but right now we've cleared all the rubbish. There was a lot of it. So the rubbish is gone. We can actually access the septic tank if we ever need to. Let's hope that never happens. We've stockpiled some rocks because we may use them for the water feature at the other end of the garden. This, I am absolutely positive, is a wild clematis. They've obviously planted it here. I do not know why. And it's had a support going up there. So I'm not going to dig it out. I'm going to leave it. You never know. It might end up that it goes up there and it actually has some flowers. If not, it's out. I'm not keen on having clematis so close to a septic tank because the roots go for the damp and the water, and we did have an issue with this in Cornwall about 100 years ago, so I'd rather have a climbing rose up there. John has already said he'd like to have an extension to his garage there. That is not happening. Not happening. We have a bit of a problem with bunnies. Now, even though we're surrounded by walls, and I've checked and there's no gaps, they just saunter through the gate. Now, this isn't a problem at the moment because I'm not growing any fruit and veg, but it will be. Dearie dear. So John and I went for a little visit to Threave Nature Reserve, which we visited when we came down here to Dumfries and Galloway to look at houses. So at that time we had the dogs with us and we couldn't really explore too much in the reserve. So this time we left the dogs at home and we went just the two of us. So unfortunately the day that we picked was really windy. And when I've looked back on the videos I've taken, the wind is just incredibly noisy. So I've dubbed that out, and I just hope you enjoy what we took of it. We will go back again. It is literally about 40 minutes away from the house, and it was lovely to go and see. And I think worth visiting at different times of the year. So now that we're National Trust for Scotland members, we can actually go and visit Threave Castle on the island, which is managed by Historic Scotland. So instead of having to buy a separate ticket for Historic Scotland to go over to the island and the castle, we can use our National Trust for Scotland membership. Not National Trust membership, guys, National Trust for Scotland membership. So have a look at the wee bits of video. I hope you enjoy them. So we're inside the Stepping Stones hide at Threave Reserve, and the eagle-eyed of you may spot a heron on the opposite bank, just wandering around looking for its dinner. Apparently this is a good place to watch for otters as well, but we've come in the middle of the afternoon on a Sunday. We should really come first thing in the morning, but the visit today was a reconnaissance visit to see what is here, what opportunities there were for photography, what equipment we'd need to bring. We know we need to bring binoculars now, but absolutely beautiful. Well, we're outside this morning because it's dry, and we are tackling the perimeter hedge and wall down this side of the garden. So we have a back gate just where John is, which we use to put the bins out, and a couple of the farmers who we've met have said that the visibility when they get up to the top of the road at the crossroads isn't great because we've got so many overhanging bushes that they can't actually see round the corner. So we're dealing with that today. It's actually a good opportunity for us to get these under control. So we're not doing the whole garden today, we're just going to try and manage what we can on this side. So the plan is to take the hedging to about 2 to 3 foot just above the wall and to reduce it in width. So John is using a telescopic tool that has interchangeable heads. So normally he would use this as a strimmer, but today he's got a mini chainsaw on it so we can reach the top of the branches. And I'm in charge of getting rid of the debris. So you'll see how that looks at the end. So that is a driver's view. So you can see this is the outside of the hedge. It really needs dealt with. So, bit of a job. I think that'll take us all day. So, we've still got a little bit to take off that forsythia, but I just wanted to show you the inside of the garden on this wall. So a lot of the bushes have been taken back, which has been hard work, and people are a wee bit concerned. I think they're a wee bit frightened as well. So forsythia, this has yellow flowers quite early in the spring, and the best time to cut it back is after it's been flowering, and you can really take this one back. So we've decided to take off about 6 foot off that, and that won't hurt that at all. Do it the world of good. It'll make it a wee bit bushy around the base. This berberis, or cotoneaster, I think it's actually a cotoneaster, has seen better days. There's a lot of deadwood on it. I'll be taking a bit of that out tomorrow as well. You can see dead branches going up there. So it's needing a wee bit more work done to it. But again, it'll do it the world of good. The laurel, its days are numbered. So at the moment we're just tidying. Another forsythia there that's had a lot taken off it, and another forsythia there that has had a lot taken off it. So what we've done is we have removed all the brambles. The hedge in there, which is actually on the other side of the wall, is blackthorn, and it's quite good for just giving you a wee bit of wind protection, a wee bit of privacy, and of course you get sloes in the autumn for making sloe gin or sloe vodka. So we're going to have a look on the other side of the wall now. So the gateway's been cleared quite a bit. Tomorrow, this used to be a purple-leaved Japanese maple, but it has died. So there's no point in really having a dead bush there, so it's going. We completely trimmed and cleared the verge, and this has been a great thing. Good for us and good for any drivers, and a couple of the local farmers have stopped to say thank you very much. So they can actually see what's happening at the crossroads. There was a really bad accident here not that long ago, so we're happy to take this back. It'll be a lot easier to keep. We also took an overhanging branch of the cherry tree that's up there. So this is a rowan. Cleared all of this, and this is the best time to do it. So the birds' nesting season has finished. I'm leaving this ivy because the ivy will put out berries for the birds in the winter. And the cherry tree, John's removed an overhanging branch there. It kept hitting off the tractors that were driving past. So that's that bit done. Tomorrow we are going to sort the bushes along here because they are blocking the line of sight from the crossroads, and John will trim the verge. So yet another fun and hard working day, reducing the hedging, and in this case it's important on the roadside, but these bushes are pretty overgrown on the inside as well. Well, we didn't manage to get it all done today. There's an awful lot of stuff. So, the currant, whichever kind it is, needs a wee bit more research. I don't think there's any actual currants on it at all. So, we'll need to see, is it a black currant? Is it a white currant? What is it? That is another forsythia cut back. So, farmers should be happy, they can see round the corner. And that's another forsythia there. And after we cut that back, and I know that looks severe, folks, but this will come back. Trust me, this can put on 46 foot in a year. This sad thing is an apple tree that has been so overgrown for years that it's actually had a major lean. There's a lot dead on it, but that is going to have to wait until January. But honestly, what a sad, sad thing. That whole branch there is dead. This is all belonging to a different tree, which is the next thing that will be getting chopped. So, a lot of renovative pruning. But you'll enjoy that in January. The first week in January is when I do my apple tree pruning. And wow, if anyone's got a tree it's in need of renovation that this one has, then let me know. So we've still got a bit to try and uncover the oil tank, and goodness me, whatever is in these bushes, they've just got to get cut right back. But that is a story for another day. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed that video. John and I are going to have a rest next week, so there will be no video next week, and I'll explain why. Monday, we are off to Robert Burns' Ellisland Farm. We have both been accepted as volunteers there, and we're doing a little bit of work in the morning. They have a very temperamental ride-on tractor that John is having a look at, and I'll be doing some other stuff as well. We're having a carpet fitted as well in our guest bedroom, so have a look at the next video, not next week, but the week after, and see how that goes. Plus, we're getting some new double glazing installed, so it's going to be a bit of a full-on week. Seriously though, we're getting on a wee bit, and much as everyone thinks we're doing really, really well, it takes its toll. And this week, having to clear the hedges and take some large branches off of trees and remove it. Cutting it isn't so bad, removing it is a job, and we're really tired, so we're going to have a week off. I just can't really say that I would have a video ready for you next Sunday. So we'll skip a week, and we'll have some exciting stuff for you in the following Sunday. So thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. It is free for you to do, and it means you won't miss any episodes. We're still waiting to hear when we're getting our solar project approved, but it's all in line, so there is lots more interesting stuff to come. Plus, I'll be growing some perennial plants from seed, and we'll have a wee garden roundup as well. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in a fortnight.